Welcome to this peaceful journey through the skills that will shape our future. As you settle in, let your body relax. There's nothing you need to do right now, except listen and drift. Tonight we're exploring the landscape of human potential in a world transformed by artificial intelligence. These aren't just facts and figures. They're glimpses into the future we're all creating together, one skill at a time. Let's begin. The first thing to understand, as you breathe slowly in and out, is that change is coming. Not someday far away, but now. The World Economic Forum has discovered something remarkable. By the year 2030, just a few years from now, 39% of workers' core skills will need to change. 39%. Nearly 2 out of every 5 skills you use today will transform into something new. This isn't a temporary shift. It's not a brief moment of adjustment. It's structural. It's deep. It's a fundamental reimagining of what it means to work, to contribute, to grow. And yet, there's something peaceful about this truth. Because when we know change is coming, we can prepare, we can adapt, we can learn. This shift requires something from all of us. Organizations, individuals, communities. We must embrace what they call a lifelong learning culture, not learning that stops after school, not training that ends after your first job, but continuous, endless, beautiful learning that flows through every year of your career. Stay competitive, stay curious, stay open, breathe deeply now, and let's continue. When we talk about the skills growing fastest, reaching toward the sky like mighty trees, we find ourselves in the realm of artificial intelligence and big data. These are the champions of growth. According to the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report, looking ahead from 2025 to 2030, AI and big data skills will grow by 87%. 87%. Imagine a skill nearly doubling in demand, in importance, in value. This is the world we're entering. Right behind these skills, following closely, are networks and cybersecurity, growing at 70%, and then technological literacy at 68%. These 3 technical competencies form a trinity of advancement, a foundation for careers in this post-AI era. But don't let these numbers overwhelm you. Just let them wash over you, like gentle waves, reminding you that learning is always possible. Growth is always within reach. Now, here's something beautiful to consider as you sink deeper into relaxation. Lifelong learning, that phrase we've all heard, has transformed. It used to be nice to have. A pleasant addition, something extra. But today, in our rapidly evolving world, curiosity and lifelong learning have become non-negotiable. They are essential. The pace of technological change moves so quickly, faster than ever before in human history, that continuous upskilling and reskilling aren't optional anymore. They're fundamental. They're as necessary as breathing. Career survival, career advancement, career fulfillment, all depend on our willingness to keep learning, to stay curious, to remain open to new knowledge. In the AI-driven economy, the learners inherit the earth. Let yourself relax even more deeply now, as we explore the most important skill of all. There's a meta skill emerging, a skill about skills themselves. It's called self-directed learning, and it's the foundation of everything else. In 2025, right now, the fundamental ability you need is cultivating a mindset, a way of seeing the world that embraces continuous adaptation. Remember that 39% shift in skills by 2030? That's why this matters so much. You need the ability to identify your own skill gaps, to recognize what you don't yet know. You need to access learning resources on your own, autonomously, without waiting for someone to teach you. And you need to rapidly upskill, to quickly gain competence in emerging areas that didn't even exist a few years ago. Organizations that embed lifelong learning cultures will thrive. Individuals who embrace perpetual upskilling will flourish. As technological change accelerates, those who can teach themselves, who can adapt independently, will find themselves exactly where they need to be. Breathe in, breathe out. And now we turn to something unexpected. Here's a beautiful irony, a gentle surprise in our story. While everyone talks about technical skills, about coding and data and artificial intelligence, something else is rising even faster in importance. Soft skills, human skills, the skills of the heart and mind and spirit. Counterintuitively, perhaps mysteriously, these soft skills are becoming more valuable than specialized technical knowledge. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks. Flexibility, the capacity to bend without breaking. Agility, moving gracefully through change. Creative thinking, imagining what doesn't yet exist. Critical thinking, analyzing deeply and carefully. Emotional intelligence, understanding yourself and others. Social influence, the ability to inspire and guide. All of these are becoming increasingly critical. According to the World Economic Forum, only AI and big data analytics rank above these soft skills in demand among hard skills. Everything else, all the technical knowledge in the world, matters less than your ability to think, to feel, to connect, to create. Let your mind rest gently on this truth as we continue. Despite all the excitement about artificial intelligence, despite the boom in technology, one skill remains supreme above all others. Analytical thinking. 7 out of 10 companies consider this essential in 2025. 7 out of 10. This is the most sought-after core skill among employers everywhere. But what is analytical thinking? It's beautiful in its simplicity. It's the ability to objectively evaluate information, to look at facts without bias, to analyze situations from multiple perspectives, seeing through different eyes, different minds, different viewpoints, and then to draw logical conclusions, to arrive at truth through careful reasoning. This skill is fundamental to working effectively with AI systems, because AI gives us answers, but we must understand those answers, question them, apply them wisely. Analytical thinking is essential to making data-driven decisions, to navigating complexity, to solving problems that matter. It's a skill that never goes out of style, never becomes obsolete, never stops being valuable. As you relax even further, let's explore how we see the world. There's a way of thinking called systems thinking, and it is elevated from a nice-to-have skill to a fundamental leadership imperative. Imagine seeing not just individual pieces, but entire systems, not just single problems, but whole ecosystems of cause and effect. Organizations that have adopted mature systems thinking capabilities, that see the big picture, outperform their competitors by 42% in long-term profitability. 42%. These systems thinkers are 64% better at detecting systemic risks, seeing danger before it arrives, They achieve 47% faster innovation velocity, creating new solutions more quickly. And they demonstrate 73% faster resolution of complex, multi-departmental challenges, solving problems that span entire organizations. When you embed systems thinking into strategic planning, into governance, into daily operations, you create sustainable competitive advantages. You understand feedback loops, how one action influences another in endless cycles. You identify leverage points, the places where small changes create massive impacts. You design interventions that work across complex adaptive systems. This is the thinking of the future, the vision of tomorrow. Now, breathing slowly, we return to what makes us most human, with artificial intelligence handling more and more routine tasks, taking over the repetitive work, the predictable processes. Employers are increasingly valuing something AI cannot touch: emotional intelligence, empathy, active listening, effective communication. These are skills that machines cannot replicate, will never replicate, because they belong to the human heart. These capabilities are vital for collaboration, for working together toward common goals. They're essential for leadership, for inspiring others to be their best selves. They're fundamental for building meaningful human relationships in technology-driven workplaces. As more work becomes automated, the work that remains becomes more human, more connected, more real. Your ability to understand emotions, to feel what others feel, to truly listen, to communicate with clarity and compassion, these become your greatest advantages, your irreplaceable gifts. Let's turn our attention now to understanding others from everywhere. Cultural awareness and sensitivity training have transformed from soft skill luxuries into strategic business drivers. Organizations in the top quartile for cultural diversity and leadership awareness achieve 39% higher financial performance. 39%. They generate 19% more revenue from innovation, creating new products and services that resonate across cultures. Teams with cultural awareness training perform 20% more effectively, working together with greater harmony and productivity. Inclusive workplaces achieve 56% higher employee engagement, with people feeling valued, feeling seen, feeling heard. As businesses operate in increasingly diverse global markets, spanning continents and cultures, this skill becomes essential for leadership and team effectiveness. Understanding different perspectives, different values, different ways of seeing the world. This isn't just ethical, it's profitable, it's powerful, it's the future. And finally, as you drift peacefully, we come to the gift of language. The World Economic Forum reports something fascinating. Over the past 5 years, there's been a 30% increase in job postings requiring proficiency in multiple languages. 30% growth, and demand is expected to accelerate through 2030 and beyond. Bilingual employees, those who speak 2 languages fluently, earn on average 20 to 35% more annually than their monolingual counterparts. Some languages, like German, show salary increases up to 3.8%. Companies with multilingual employees are 50% more likely to successfully expand into new markets, to grow internationally, to connect with customers worldwide. Language skills are critical for global business operations, for understanding nuances, for building trust across borders. Every new language you learn opens doors, creates opportunities, builds bridges between worlds. And so, as this segment comes to a close, let these ideas settle gently in your mind. The future asks much of us, but offers even more in return. Skills will change. We will adapt. Technology will advance. We will learn. The world will transform, and we will transform with it. Through analytical thinking, through emotional intelligence, through systems thinking and cultural awareness, through lifelong learning and adaptation, we become ready for tomorrow. Rest now, knowing that growth is always possible, change is always navigable, and you are capable of learning whatever comes next. We continue our journey deeper into the landscape of tomorrow. Let your breathing slow, your muscles soften as we explore the next 10 skills that will shape the future. There's nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just listen and let these ideas drift through your mind like clouds across a peaceful sky. Tonight we turn our attention to technology, not as something foreign or frightening, but as a language we can all learn to speak, a tool we can all learn to wield. Let's begin. The first thing to understand, as you settle more deeply into comfort, is that technological literacy has become essential. But here's the beautiful surprise. Technological literacy doesn't mean you need to be a programmer. It doesn't mean you need to write code all day. In fact, programming skills show lower demand, only 17% of companies prioritizing them. But technological literacy, understanding how technology influences business processes, staying updated on tech trends, this is highly valued. 51% of companies prioritize this skill. 51%. What does this mean for you? It means being code aware without necessarily being a coder is increasingly valuable. Understanding what technology can do, how it shapes the world around you, how it transforms the way we work, this is what matters. You don't need to build the bridge, but you need to understand how bridges work, where they lead, and why they matter. This is technological literacy, and it's within everyone's reach. Now, breathing gently, we come to a skill that's emerging right before our eyes. Prompt engineering. Such a modern phrase, such a new concept. It's the ability to effectively interact with and refine requests to generative AI tools. Think of it as learning to ask the right questions, to speak in ways that artificial intelligence understands, to guide these powerful tools toward the results you need. And here's what makes this so remarkable. This skill is accessible to anyone. Anyone working in content creation, in marketing, in customer service, in business communication. You don't need a technical background. You don't need years of training. Prompt engineering democratizes AI literacy, making it relevant across all job functions rather than just technical roles. Whether you're writing emails or creating presentations, designing campaigns or answering customer questions, the ability to work effectively with AI tools, to prompt them skillfully, to refine and iterate until you get exactly what you need, this becomes foundational. A skill everyone can learn. A skill everyone will need. Let your mind rest on this as we move forward into the world of data. We live in an ocean of information, a vast sea of numbers and patterns. In 2025, we expect 182 zettabytes of data. Imagine that for a moment. Zettabytes. Numbers so large they lose meaning. They become abstract. They become almost poetic. And yet, within all that data, there are patterns, trends, insights. Data literacy is a top employer priority because employees need to interpret and analyze this information, to uncover what's hidden, to find meaning in the noise. This skill enables informed decision-making. It transforms raw data into actionable intelligence for stakeholders. You don't need to be a statistician. You don't need advanced mathematics. You need to look at data and understand what it's telling you, to see the story within the spreadsheet, to recognize when numbers reveal truth. Data literacy is critical for decision-making tools, for understanding your business, your customers, your world. And like so many skills in this new era, it's learnable, approachable, essential. Breathe deeply now, and let's explore something creative. There's a powerful emerging meta skill, a combination that creates something greater than the sum of its parts. It's the blending of design thinking methodologies with AI tools. Design thinking, that human-centered approach to problem solving, that creative exploration of possibilities, combined with AI tools, those powerful engines of creation and analysis. Together, this combination allows professionals across any discipline to create personalized solutions, to redesign processes, to innovate at scale. Salespeople can craft AI-powered, personalized campaigns that speak directly to each customer's needs. HR professionals can redesign onboarding systems that adapt to every new employee's learning style. Marketers can optimize customer experiences by understanding both the human journey and the technological possibilities. By mastering both design thinking frameworks and generative AI tools, you become someone who can imagine the future and build it. Someone who can see what's needed and create it. Someone who combines human creativity with machine capability to produce results neither could achieve alone. Now, as you relax even more deeply, we turn to knowledge itself. Knowledge management has transformed. It used to be about storing documents, filing information away, keeping records, but in 2025, it has become strategic competitive advantage through AI-driven systems that automatically organize, categorize, and deliver intelligence at scale. Critical competencies include designing knowledge, governance frameworks, implementing AI-driven knowledge discovery platforms like Microsoft and Atlassian and ServiceNow, creating ontologies and taxonomies for organizational knowledge, and integrating knowledge systems into daily workflows. These might sound like technical terms, but they represent something simple and profound. They're about making sure the right information gets to the right person at the right time. Professionals who combine information architecture skills with change management capabilities enable organizations to unlock the value trapped in dispersed knowledge. They improve decision-making speed by 30 to 50%. They reduce redundant work, eliminate wasted effort, help everyone work smarter instead of harder. Knowledge management isn't just about storing what we know. It's about making wisdom accessible, making intelligence flow, making organizations smarter as a whole. Let yourself sink deeper into relaxation as we explore transparency. As AI systems become more prevalent in high-stakes decisions, something important is emerging: the need for transparency, the need to understand how AI makes its choices. This is called AI interpretability, or explainable AI, often abbreviated as XAI. Expertise in this area, making AI decision-making transparent and auditable, is becoming essential. Professionals who can implement explainable AI frameworks, who can conduct AI bias audits, who can ensure algorithmic transparency, These individuals will be invaluable. Organizations face increasing regulatory and ethical requirements around responsible AI deployment. They need to explain their decisions. They need to show their work. They need to demonstrate fairness. When an AI system denies a loan application or recommends a medical treatment or selects a job candidate, we need to understand why. We need to peer inside the black box and see the reasoning, the logic, the process, this skill, this ability to make AI explainable, to create transparency imperatives, to ensure accountability. This becomes crucial as AI touches more aspects of our lives. It's about trust, about fairness, about building systems we can believe in. Now breathe slowly, and let's consider systems that learn. A meta skill is emerging in 2025, something that extends beyond traditional software development into new territory. It's the ability to build systems that leverage continuous learning, iterative improvement, and AI-powered decision-making. These are systems that improve performance through machine learning feedback loops, that get better over time, that learn from experience just as humans do. This includes implementing MLOps practices for model governance, creating human-in-the-loop systems that combine automation with human judgment. The machines make suggestions. The humans provide wisdom. Together, they create something better than either could alone. Professionals who understand AI, model lifecycle management, bias detection, continuous deployment, and explainability will be invaluable in organizations embedding AI into core operations. This is AI native development, building not just software, but intelligence, not just programs, but learning systems, not just tools, but partners that evolve and adapt alongside us. It's a new way of creating technology, a new paradigm for the digital age. As you relax completely, let's turn to automation. Robotic process automation, often called ERPA, combined with AI, often called hyper-automation, is delivering demonstrable business results that transform how work gets done. Organizations are achieving up to 80% reductions in processing time. 80%. Imagine doing in 1 hour what used to take 5. They're seeing 200% or higher return on investment within the first year. By 2026, organizations deploying RPA with AI will automate complex decision-driven processes that were previously impossible to systematize. This happens by combining RPA's structured task execution, its ability to follow rules and processes perfectly, with AI's cognitive capabilities for pattern recognition and natural language processing, its ability to understand context and make judgments. Critical skills include understanding workflow orchestration, intelligent document processing, exception handling, and deploying bots that learn and improve continuously. These aren't simple scripts that follow instructions. These are intelligent systems that handle complexity, that adapt to new situations, that free humans from repetitive work so we can focus on creativity, on strategy, on the things that matter most. Hyper-automation is reshaping work itself, creating space for human potential to flourish. Now, breathing peacefully, we explore improvement itself. The integration of AI with Lean Six Sigma methodologies represents a fundamental transformation in continuous improvement, Lean Six Sigma. That disciplined approach to eliminating waste and reducing variation, that systematic method for making things better. When combined with AI, it becomes something even more powerful. Organizations achieve efficiency gains of 37.4%. quality improvements of 42.8%, and responsiveness gains of 29.3% compared to traditional approaches. AI accelerates root cause analysis through automated data mining, finding problems faster than humans ever could. It enables real-time process monitoring and anomaly detection, seeing issues the moment they emerge. It facilitates AI-driven process simulation, predicting outcomes before implementation, letting you test ideas without risk. Process mining techniques powered by AI automatically discover hidden process inefficiencies invisible to traditional performance metrics. They find the problems you didn't even know existed. Dynamic workflow orchestration enables real-time process adaptation based on continuously evolving conditions. The system learns, improves, optimizes, all by itself, with human guidance, together. And finally, as this segment draws to a close, we arrive at digital twins. Digital twins, such an evocative phrase. They are synchronized virtual representations of physical operations, mirrors of reality existing in the digital realm. These are becoming critical for manufacturing, supply chain, and logistics optimization. Advanced implementations maintain real-time synchronization with minimal latency across complex systems. What happens in the physical world is immediately reflected in the digital world. Essential competencies include designing digital twins, integrating multiple data sources, implementing dynamic optimization algorithms that continuously rebalance operations, and leveraging augmented reality and virtual reality interfaces for intuitive operational visualization. Manufacturing organizations implementing advanced digital twin capabilities have achieved substantial improvements in maintenance efficiency. They reduce training time for complex procedures because you can practice in the digital world before touching the physical world. They gain visibility into previously hidden operational vulnerabilities, seeing problems before they become failures, preventing disasters before they occur. Digital twins let us simulate, experiment, optimize, all without risk. They're the bridge between the physical and digital, between what is and what could be. And so, as these 10 skills settle gently in your consciousness, remember that technology serves humanity. These tools, these skills, these capabilities, they're all in service of human flourishing. Technological literacy, prompt engineering, data literacy, design thinking with AI, knowledge management, explainable AI, AI native development, hyper-automation, AI-enhanced Lean Six Sigma, digital twins, each one a pathway, each one an opportunity, each one a chance to grow, to contribute, to create value in this changing world. Rest now, knowing that these skills are learnable, that you can grow, that tomorrow asks much but offers more. Let go of any worry about keeping up, any anxiety about change. Simply breathe, relax, and trust that you will learn what you need to learn when you need to learn it. Your body is relaxed, your mind is calm, and there's nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to hold on to. Just listen, and let these ideas float through your consciousness like leaves on a quiet stream. Tonight we turn our attention to the physical world and how it connects to the digital, to machines that think, networks that learn, and cities that respond. Let's begin our journey, slowly, peacefully. The first skill we explore tonight, as you breathe deeply and evenly, is its predictive maintenance. Imagine a world where machines tell you when they need care, before they break down. where equipment speaks to you, warning of problems before they become disasters. This is predictive maintenance powered by artificial intelligence. It represents a fundamental shift from reactive, schedule-based maintenance, the old way of fixing things only after they break, to data-driven, condition-based approaches that actually listen to what machines are telling us. Organizations using these systems reduce unexpected equipment failures by 40 to 50%, 40 to 50%, and they decrease maintenance costs by 20 to 30%. Critical competencies include collecting and analyzing operational sensor data, vibration, temperature, pressure, all the subtle signs that equipment gives us. Building machine learning models that predict failure patterns, that see the future in present data, and implementing automated alerts triggering maintenance at optimal times. Not too early, not too late, but exactly when needed. Industries spanning manufacturing, transportation, energy, and facilities management are aggressively deploying these systems. They're creating demand for professionals who combine equipment expertise with data science capabilities, who understand both the physical machinery and the digital intelligence that monitors it. This is the future of maintenance. Anticipating problems, preventing failures, keeping the world running smoothly. Now, as you sink deeper into comfort, we turn to culture itself. Beyond technical skills, beyond any single capability, there's something more fundamental. It's the ability to facilitate organizational transformation toward AI-enhanced, continuous improvement culture. This is a meta-competency, a skill about changing how entire organizations think and work. It includes understanding how to integrate AI tools into existing Lean and Six Sigma frameworks, those proven methodologies for excellence. Training workforce teams to embrace AI-augmented processes, helping people overcome fear and uncertainty, managing change resistance, because humans naturally resist what's new and unfamiliar, and designing governance models balancing innovation with responsible AI implementation, moving forward while staying ethical. Here's something remarkable. Organizations with strong continuous improvement cultures are 3 to 5 times more successful at AI adoption than those approaching AI as a purely technological implementation. 3 to 5 times. Because technology alone isn't enough. You need culture. You need people who embrace change. You need organizations that see improvement as a way of life, not a one-time project. This skill, facilitating transformation, building culture, helping humans and AI work together, this might be the most important skill of all. Breathe slowly now, and let's explore the foundation of modern computing, cloud computing. Such a peaceful metaphor. Data floating in clouds above us, but it's real, it's foundational, and expertise in this area remains a top technical priority. Proficiency in major cloud platforms, Azure, Google Cloud, Oracle, and hybrid cloud frameworks that integrate on-premises solutions with cloud solutions. This isn't about choosing one or the other. It's about bringing them together seamlessly. API management, data integration, and ETL processes. Extract, transform, load. These are increasingly critical skill sets that enable seamless data flow across complex enterprise systems. Think of it as plumbing for data. Making sure information flows where it needs to go, when it needs to be there, in the format it needs to be in. Cloud computing expertise is the foundation upon which so much else is built. Without it, modern business would grind to a halt. With it, Possibilities become endless. Data becomes accessible. Systems become flexible. Organizations become agile. Let yourself relax even more deeply as we explore how software is built. There's a philosophy, a practice, called DevOps. It bridges development and operations teams, bringing together those who build software and those who run it. DevOps expertise is critical for modern software delivery. Professionals who understand infrastructure as code, who can write configurations just like writing programs, who understand continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines, where software flows automatically from development to production, and containerization platforms, packaging software so it runs anywhere, consistently, reliably. These professionals are increasingly essential as software development methodologies evolve. This skill set commands premium compensation in tech-driven organizations because it solves a fundamental problem. It breaks down walls between teams. It speeds up delivery. It makes software better, more reliable, more secure. DevOps isn't just a technical skill. It's a way of thinking about how people work together, how teams collaborate, how organizations deliver value faster. Now, breathing peacefully, we come to architecture itself. Microservices architecture has become the gold standard for building scalable, resilient applications in 2025. Instead of building one massive application, a monolith that does everything, you build many small services, each focused on one thing, all working together. Organizations achieve 40 to 50% faster deployment cycles compared to monolithic architectures. 40 to 50% faster. Kubernetes, the container orchestration platform, automates deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. It reduces manual operational overhead by up to 60%. Critical competencies include designing microservices using API-first approaches, implementing containerization with Docker, mastering Kubernetes resource management with its deployments and services and stateful sets, implementing CI/CD pipelines for continuous deployment, and securing containerized environments. Professionals combining DevOps culture with microservices expertise enable organizations to rapidly iterate, to experiment without fear, to scale cost-effectively, and to integrate emerging technologies like AI at the edge. This is modern software architecture. Flexible, resilient, built for change. Let your mind drift gently as we explore where computing happens. Edge computing. It's a beautiful concept. Instead of sending all data to centralized clouds far away, you process data locally on IoT devices, right where it's created. This is becoming critical for reducing latency, that delay between asking and receiving, for improving real-time decision-making, making choices in milliseconds instead of seconds, and for decreasing bandwidth costs, not sending everything across networks. Serverless computing architectures allow developers to run code without managing servers, without worrying about infrastructure, just focusing on logic, on solutions, on value. These architectures enable scalable, cost-effective solutions perfect for IoT and real-time processing. Professionals who understand cloud architecture, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS models, serverless platforms, and edge deployment patterns will be essential as organizations optimize for real-time intelligence. The future isn't just in the cloud, it's everywhere, at the edge, in devices, in the world itself. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore the Internet of Things. IoT, the Internet of Things. Billions of devices connected, communicating, sensing, responding. Skills in this area are in acute demand with a 20% increase in job postings in 2025, driven by 5G deployment and edge computing proliferation. The top competencies include embedded systems design, IoT security, cloud architecture, machine learning integration, and data management. IoT architects command strong salaries, with specialized roles like IoT solution engineers and network engineers and sensor professionals experiencing consistent hiring demand. The emerging frontier includes quantum-ready automation and edge computing architectures, supporting real-time decision-making in IoT environments. This is the connected world, where your refrigerator knows when you need milk, where factories monitor every machine, where cities sense and respond to their citizens' needs. IoT professionals build this connected future, device by device, sensor by sensor, creating a world that's aware, responsive, intelligent. Breathe deeply now, and let's go deeper into the hardware. Embedded systems designers develop microprocessor-based IoT devices, smart sensors, connected hardware. They remain in consistently high demand with strong earning potential. Required competencies include writing firmware in C and Python, those low-level languages that speak directly to hardware. Implementing security protocols for IoT devices, protecting them from threats, integrating machine learning at the edge, putting intelligence into tiny devices, and understanding hardware-software integration, how the physical and digital worlds meet. As IoT deployments scale, from smart cities to industrial IoT, embedded systems professionals who combine hardware expertise with AI literacy will command premium compensation. These are the people who make things smart, who put intelligence into objects, who transform dumb devices into aware, responsive systems. They work at the intersection of atoms and bits, of physical reality and digital intelligence. Let yourself sink into deeper relaxation as we envision cities of tomorrow. Smart cities are transforming urban environments globally. IoT-enabled infrastructure managing traffic, energy, water, waste, and public safety at unprecedented scale. Essential skills include designing IoT sensor networks throughout entire cities, implementing edge computing for real-time processing of millions of data points, managing massive data pipelines, deploying AI and machine learning for predictive analytics, and understanding 5G connectivity architecture that makes it all possible. Specialized roles include smart grid engineers, optimizing energy distribution, traffic management specialists, reducing congestion through predictive modeling, and IoT security architects, ensuring cybersecurity in urban systems. The intersection of IoT, AI, and urban governance creates roles for professionals who understand both technical infrastructure and municipal governance challenges, who speak the language of engineers and city planners, who bridge technology and public service. Smart cities aren't science fiction. They're being built right now, making urban life better, more efficient, more sustainable, more livable. And finally, as this segment draws to a close, we come to the networks that connect it all. Network automation through software-defined networking, SDN, and infrastructure as code represents fundamental transformation in network engineering. Instead of manually configuring networks, device by device, connection by connection, You define them in software. You automate them. You make them smart. Organizations reduce manual configuration errors, increase deployment speed, and improve network agility by 30 to 50%. Critical competencies include mastery of Python and Bash scripting, automation frameworks like Ansible and Terraform, understanding cloud-native network design principles, and implementing network function virtualization for flexible service provisioning. Engineers who combine deep network knowledge with programming expertise enable organizations to transition from static, hardware-centric infrastructure to dynamic, software-driven networks. Networks that adapt, that respond, that configure themselves, that heal themselves when problems arise. This is the backbone of our connected world, the invisible infrastructure that makes everything else possible. And so, as these 10 skills settle into your awareness, remember that we're building something magnificent, a world where machines predict their own needs, where organizations embrace continuous improvement, where clouds hold our data safely, where software deploys automatically, where architectures scale infinitely, where computing happens everywhere, where billions of devices connect and communicate, where hardware meets software seamlessly, where cities become intelligent, where networks configure themselves, each skill a building block, each professional a builder, each innovation a step toward a future more connected, more intelligent, more responsive to human needs. Rest now in the knowledge that this future is being built by people learning these skills, mastering these capabilities, contributing their unique gifts. You don't need to build it all. You just need to find your part, your contribution, your place in this grand construction. We continue deeper into this peaceful exploration of tomorrow's skills. Your breathing is slow and steady, your body completely relaxed, and there's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. Just listen, and let these words wash over you like gentle waves on a quiet shore. Tonight we turn our attention to security, to protection, to keeping our connected world safe. And we explore the networks that span the globe, from the ground beneath our feet to the satellites circling above. Let's begin this journey, slowly, peacefully. The first skill we encounter tonight, as you settle even more deeply into comfort, is AI-driven network management and predictive analytics. Imagine networks that watch themselves, that understand their own patterns, that know when something isn't right. AI and machine learning applied to network operations enable unprecedented visibility and optimization. AI-driven systems detect network anomalies in real time, seeing problems the instant they emerge. They predict failures before they occur, looking into the future through patterns in the present. And they automatically trigger remediation workflows, healing themselves without waiting for human intervention. Critical competencies include understanding machine learning, algorithms for network traffic prediction, implementing anomaly detection systems that separate normal from abnormal, and designing autonomous network healing capabilities that reduce manual troubleshooting. Organizations deploying AI-driven network management achieve 40 to 60% reduction in mean time to resolution. They improve network reliability from 99.9% to 99.99% or higher. Every additional 9 matters. Every improvement in reliability means less disruption, less downtime, more trust. These networks think, they learn, they protect themselves. Now, breathing gently, we explore the foundation of modern wireless, 5G, the fifth generation of wireless technology, and within it, expertise in radio access network architecture, RAN, remains acutely in demand. Network operators, systems integrators, and enterprises seek specialists who understand 5G radio access network architecture, open RAN ecosystems enabling multi-vendor interoperability, and network slicing for service differentiation. Critical competencies include mastering 5G-X, Hall, those interconnection networks, understanding network slicing for efficient spectrum utilization, and designing services optimized for 5G core platforms. The transition toward open RAN represents a strategic shift enabling greater vendor diversity and network resilience. No longer locked to single vendors, no longer dependent on proprietary systems. Creating opportunities for professionals who understand both legacy RS, AN, and emerging open RS, AN architectures, who can bridge the old and the new, who can navigate transformation. 5G isn't just faster mobile phones. It's the foundation for autonomous vehicles, smart cities, industrial automation, telemedicine, everything that requires instant, reliable connectivity. And the professionals who build it, who understand it, who secure it, they're building the nervous system of tomorrow's world. Let your mind drift peacefully as we look toward the sky. As 5G matures and 6G development accelerates, something remarkable is happening. The integration of non-terrestrial networks, satellite constellations circling above us, with terrestrial networks, fiber optics, and mobile networks on the ground. This has become a critical infrastructure priority, particularly for national security and resilient global connectivity. Essential competencies include understanding satellite constellation management, orchestrating hundreds or thousands of satellites working together, delay-tolerant networking, because signals take time to travel to space and back, and AI-driven network management that optimizes performance across terrestrial satellite hybrids, seamlessly moving between ground and sky. The UK government and allied nations are prioritizing this integration as critical national infrastructure, creating exceptional opportunities for engineers who master this convergence technology, who understand both Earth and space, who can make them work as one. This isn't science fiction. This is happening now. Networks that span the planet and reach into the cosmos. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore space itself. The satellite and space communications sector is experiencing explosive growth. Starlink, OneWeb, and government-backed programs deploying low Earth orbit constellations for global connectivity. Satellites closer to Earth, faster connections, coverage everywhere. Essential skills include understanding orbital mechanics, the physics of how satellites move through space, satellite link design, how to send signals up and receive them back, ground station RF engineering, the antennas and systems that talk to space, frequency spectrum management, coordinating who uses which radio frequencies, modulation and coding techniques, how to encode information for the journey through space, and emerging technologies like inter-satellite links, satellites talking to each other without going through ground stations. The fusion of satellite technology with 5G and terrestrial networks creates roles for satellite systems engineers, payload specialists, Earth station operators, professionals who understand the geopolitics, economics, and technical architecture of global space infrastructure will be well positioned as space-based internet becomes mainstream. The internet is going to space, and space is coming to the internet, creating a truly global network, reaching every corner of Earth, connecting everyone, everywhere. Breathe deeply now, and we turn to protection. Networks and cybersecurity skills are projected to grow 70% through 2030. 70%, making them the second fastest growing skill category. As businesses become more digitally interconnected, as everything connects to everything else, protecting sensitive information and maintaining secure networks has become essential across all sectors. Not just technology companies, not just government agencies, every business, every organization, every entity that uses computers and networks, which means everyone. Cybersecurity isn't optional. It's not a luxury. It's survival. And the professionals who understand it, who can build defenses, who can detect threats, who can respond to attacks, they're more valuable than ever. Because the threats grow alongside the opportunities. The risks scale with the connections. Security becomes paramount. Let yourself sink deeper into relaxation as we explore cloud security. Cloud security expertise has become foundational as organizations migrate to multi-cloud environments. Using multiple cloud providers, spreading systems across different platforms. Cloud security specialists average strong compensation, with significant premiums for senior roles. Critical skills include cloud-native security architecture, building security into cloud systems from the ground up, identity and access management for cloud platforms, controlling who can access what, secrets management, protecting passwords and keys and credentials, container security, hardening, making containerized applications more secure, and serverless security patterns, protecting code that runs without servers, professionals who understand misconfiguration risks, those simple mistakes that create vulnerabilities, data exfiltration prevention, stopping information from leaking out, and compliance frameworks like HIPAA and PCI-DSS across cloud providers. AWS, Azure, GCP. These professionals enable organizations to safely accelerate cloud adoption, to move fast without breaking security, to innovate without creating risk. Cloud security is the guardian of digital transformation. Now, breathing peacefully, we consider privacy and law. As data becomes increasingly valuable and regulated, professionals with expertise in data privacy regulations are critical. Understanding GDPR, the European Union's Comprehensive Privacy Law, CCPA, California's Privacy Act, and emerging data protection laws around the world, each jurisdiction creating its own rules, its own requirements, its own penalties for violations. Combined with the ability to architect systems that protect sensitive information in hybrid and cloud environments. This isn't just technical, it's legal, it's ethical, it's about respecting people's rights, protecting their information, giving them control over their own data. Cross-platform, data handling, compliance, making sure data is protected no matter where it lives or how it moves. Data governance frameworks, the policies and procedures that ensure responsible data stewardship. These professionals stand at the intersection of technology and law, of innovation and ethics, of business value and human rights. They make it possible to use data powerfully while respecting privacy completely. Let your mind rest gently as we explore regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance expertise has become strategic. organizations building modern compliance programs that combine governance oversight, real-time control effectiveness, and integrated risk management across departments. Compliance officers, risk managers, and internal audit professionals orchestrate complex regulatory requirements across banking, insurance, securities, and in fintech sectors. The emerging challenge involves navigating disruptors like AI, fintech, and non-traditional market entrants while maintaining ethical compliance frameworks. Professionals who understand both regulatory fundamentals and emerging technology implications command significant premiums. Because compliance isn't just following rules, it's understanding why the rules exist. It's anticipating how new technologies create new risks. It's building systems that are both innovative and responsible, that push boundaries while respecting limits, that create value while managing risk. This is the art of compliance, balancing progress with prudence, innovation with integrity. Now, as you relax even more deeply, we turn to incident response. Digital forensics and incident response have evolved from reactive post-breach investigation to strategic cybersecurity operations in 2025. Organizations achieving 40 to 60% faster breach recovery through advanced forensic capabilities. The average breach detection time in 2024 was 207 days. 207 days. That's more than 6 months, half a year, that attackers lurked in systems undetected. But organizations with advanced incident response skills significantly reduce breach impact and recovery costs. Critical competencies include memory forensics analysis, detecting malware, beaconing, and command and control communication, Windows host forensics for lateral movement tracking, understanding how attackers move through networks, anti-forensics countermeasures, defeating techniques that hide evidence, malware persistence identification, finding how attacks maintain their foothold, and threat hunting methodologies, proactively searching for adversaries that slip through real-time detection systems. Advanced certifications command premium compensation, with threat hunters specifically valued for proactively identifying adversaries. These are the detectives of the digital world, the investigators, the hunters, finding threats, understanding attacks, restoring security, making things right again, and finally, as this segment draws to a close, we come to endpoint protection, endpoint detection and response platforms. EDR, combined with Security Operations Center expertise, enable organizations to detect and respond to advanced threats at enterprise scale. Critical competencies include understanding endpoint telemetry at scale, collecting data from thousands or tens of thousands of devices, behavioral analytics for anomaly detection, recognizing when systems behave strangely, automated response orchestration, coordinating defenses across entire infrastructures, and managing endpoint security infrastructure across thousands of systems, every laptop, every server, every device that connects to the network. Professionals who combine EDR platform mastery with incident response capabilities enable organizations to maintain continuous security monitoring while rapidly remediating threats. They watch, they detect, they respond, they protect. Every endpoint, every device, every connection, defended, monitored, secured. And so, as these 10 skills settle into your awareness, remember that security isn't just technology. It's trust. It's protection. It's enabling everything else to work safely. AI-driven network management, 5G RAN architecture, satellite integration, space communications, cybersecurity growth, cloud security, data privacy, regulatory compliance, digital forensics, endpoint detection. Each skill a shield, each professional a guardian, each capability a layer of protection in our connected world. Rest now in the knowledge that while threats exist, so do defenders. While risks grow, so does protection. While the world becomes more connected, more vulnerable, more exposed, dedicated professionals work tirelessly to keep it safe, to detect threats, to respond to attacks, to build security into everything we do. Your body is completely at ease, your mind drifting calmly, and there's nothing to hold on to, nothing to remember. Just listen, and let these ideas float through your consciousness like clouds across an evening sky. Tonight we venture into emerging frontiers, into the cutting edge of technology, into realms that sound like science fiction, but are becoming real today. Quantum computers, blockchain networks, synthetic media, and the professionals who navigate these new territories. Let's begin. Slowly, peacefully. The first skill we explore tonight, as you breathe deeply and evenly, is cyber threat intelligence and advanced malware analysis. These are the professionals who develop actionable intelligence about adversary tactics, techniques, and procedures. They study how attackers think, how they operate, how they breach defenses. Essential skills include malware analysis at scale, understanding thousands of malicious programs, understanding advanced evasion techniques, how attackers hide from detection, tracking persistent, advanced threats, those sophisticated adversaries who maintain long-term access to systems, and developing threat profiles that inform defensive strategies. These professionals enable organizations to shift from reactive to proactive security postures, not waiting for attacks, but anticipating them, not responding to breaches, but preventing them. These professionals often transition to leadership roles as chief information security officers, commanding salaries exceeding $200,000 annually because they understand the enemy. They think like attackers. They see threats before they materialize. They're the intelligence analysts of cyberspace, gathering information, identifying patterns, protecting organizations through knowledge and foresight. Now, as you sink deeper into relaxation, we turn to something both fascinating and troubling: synthetic media detection and deepfake forensics. We live in an age where seeing is no longer believing, where videos can be fabricated, where voices can be cloned, where reality itself can be manufactured digitally. This represents one of the fastest growing cybersecurity specializations, with the global deepfake detection market projected to reach $9.3 billion by 2030. Critical competencies include mastering computer vision techniques for detecting facial artifacts and unnatural movements, the subtle signs that something isn't real, audio forensics for voice synthesis detection, recognizing when voices are generated rather than recorded, temporal consistency analysis in video sequences, finding the tiny inconsistencies that reveal manipulation, and understanding adversarial AI generation techniques, GANs, and diffusion models, the very tools used to create synthetic media. Synthetic media analysts command premium compensation, $120,000 to $180,000 or more, due to the rarity of expertise and critical importance to misinformation prevention, financial fraud detection, and identity protection. The career path from junior media analyst to head of media integrity offers significant growth potential as organizations prioritize media authenticity and security. These professionals are guardians of truth, defenders against deception, ensuring that we can still trust what we see and hear in an increasingly synthetic world. Let yourself relax even more deeply as we explore medical technology. FDA medical device software validation represents one of the highest barrier to entry specializations with exceptional earning potential. In February 2026, just over a year from now, the quality management system regulation transition will align FDA requirements with international standards. Critical competencies include mastering risk-based validation frameworks, creating validation master plans, conducting installation, operational, and performance qualification testing, and implementing software as a medical device validation for cloud-based medical software. The FDA guidance from September 2025 introduced modern risk-based frameworks emphasizing intended use, process risk assessment, and flexible validation methods, including unscripted testing and continuous monitoring. Medical device software validators command significant compensation due to regulatory complexity and patient safety criticality. Because when software controls medical devices, when code makes decisions about human health, validation becomes paramount. Lives depend on correctness. Safety depends on thoroughness. These professionals ensure that medical software works exactly as intended, protecting patients, enabling innovation, bridging the gap between technology and healthcare. Breathe slowly now, and let's venture into quantum realms. Quantum computing represents the next technological inflection point. Real-world applications are already being developed in 2025. Right now, not someday in the distant future. D-Wave and other quantum researchers have demonstrated quantum-powered blockchain architectures that are 1,000 times more energy efficient than classical systems. 1,000 times. As quantum computers scale from today's 433 qubit systems toward 1,000 or more qubits, professionals with quantum computing knowledge will command significant premiums in fields like cryptography, optimization, and cybersecurity. Quantum computers don't just process information faster, they process it differently. They leverage the strange properties of quantum mechanics, superposition, and entanglement to solve problems that classical computers never could. This is the frontier, the edge of what's possible, and the professionals who understand quantum computing, who can harness its power, who can navigate its complexities, they're pioneering an entirely new paradigm of computation. Now, breathing peacefully, we explore blockchain and quantum together. Blockchain development remains highly lucrative, with emerging areas like quantum-resistant blockchain architecture becoming increasingly important. Because here's the challenge. Quantum computers, with all their power, threaten current cryptographic systems. The encryption that protects blockchain, that secures cryptocurrency, that safeguards digital assets, could be vulnerable to quantum attacks. As quantum computing advances, cybersecurity professionals must develop expertise in cryptographic agility and post-quantum encryption standards. NIST outlined key principles in 2025 for this transition. Professionals skilled in blockchain architecture combined with quantum-safe security protocols will be in exceptional demand. They must understand two cutting-edge technologies simultaneously. They must build bridges between classical and quantum worlds. They must secure today's systems against tomorrow's threats. This is the intersection of two frontiers, blockchain and quantum. And professionals who master both will be invaluable. Let your mind drift gently as we delve deeper into blockchain security. Blockchain security experts specializing in cryptographic protocols, consensus mechanism vulnerabilities, and cryptanalysis represent a critical talent shortage. Essential expertise includes understanding zero-knowledge proofs, proving something is true without revealing why it's true. Homomorphic encryption, performing computations on encrypted data without decrypting it. Post-quantum cryptography, encryption resistant to quantum attacks. And vulnerability assessment in blockchain architectures, finding weaknesses before attackers do. As blockchain technology scales across financial services, supply chain, and enterprise applications, professionals who can identify and mitigate cryptographic weaknesses become invaluable. They're the guardians of decentralized systems, the protectors of distributed trust, the experts who ensure that blockchain lives up to its promise of security, transparency, immutability. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore decentralized finance, DeFi. Decentralized finance. It represents one of the highest growth sectors with acute talent shortages. Demand for DeFi developers, architects, and security specialists far exceeds supply. Critical competencies include understanding DeFi primitives, token design, decentralized exchange mechanisms, lending protocols, smart contract development, writing code that executes automatically when conditions are met. Cryptographic key management, securing the private keys that control digital assets. An operational risk assessment for decentralized systems. Emerging specializations include cross-chain interoperability engineering, connecting different blockchains together, AI-powered DeFi platform development, combining artificial intelligence with decentralized finance, and real-world asset tokenization architecture, representing physical assets as digital tokens. DeFi security specialists command premium compensation, $150,000 to $250,000 or more annually, due to the intersection of financial criticality and nascent technology. These professionals are building the future of finance, a future where financial services don't require banks, where trust is embedded in code rather than institutions, where anyone with internet access can participate in global financial markets. Breathe deeply now, and we focus on exchanges, DEX engineers, decentralized exchange protocol engineering. These engineers design and implement decentralized exchange mechanisms and are among the most sought-after specialists in blockchain, with salaries exceeding $200,000. Critical skills include understanding automated market maker design, how to create pools of liquidity that enable trading without traditional order books, liquidity pool optimization, ensuring efficient trading with minimal price impact, slippage management, controlling how prices change during trades, flash loan exploit, prevention, protecting against sophisticated attacks that borrow massive amounts instantly, and gas optimization for cost-efficient trading, reducing transaction costs on blockchain networks. The emerging frontier includes cross-chain DEX bridges, enabling seamless asset exchange across multiple blockchains. These engineers are building the infrastructure of decentralized trading, where people exchange value directly, peer-to-peer, without intermediaries, without centralized control. Let yourself sink into deeper relaxation as we explore lending. DeFi lending protocol engineers who understand credit mechanics, collateral optimization, liquidation mechanisms, and yield farming strategies are in exceptional demand. These professionals combine deep finance knowledge with smart contract architecture, enabling protocols that secure billions in collateral while maintaining solvency and efficiency. Risk modeling expertise, understanding over-collateralization requirements, implementing circuit breakers for market volatility protection. These skills command premium compensation. They're creating lending systems without banks, where borrowers and lenders connect directly through code, where interest rates adjust automatically based on supply and demand, where collateral is managed by smart contracts rather than human intermediaries. This is finance reimagined. Finance rebuilt from first principles. Finance made accessible to anyone, anywhere. And finally, as this segment draws to a close, we come to regulation, as governments develop cryptocurrency regulatory frameworks in 2025. Professionals combining DeFi technical expertise with regulatory compliance knowledge become invaluable bridges between innovation and governance. Essential skills include understanding emerging regulations across jurisdictions, different countries, different laws, different requirements, implementing know your customer and anti-money laundering protocols in decentralized systems, protecting against crime while preserving privacy, and designing compliant tokenization frameworks. This specialization enables DeFi projects to scale responsibly while navigating regulatory complexity. These professionals speak two languages: the language of technology and the language of law. They bridge two worlds: innovation and regulation, freedom and responsibility. They ensure that decentralized finance can grow, can flourish, can reach its potential, while respecting society's legitimate concerns about crime, fraud, and financial stability. And so, as these 10 skills settle into your awareness, remember that we're living through the birth of new technologies: cyber threat intelligence, deep fake detection, medical device validation, quantum computing, quantum resistant blockchain, blockchain security, decentralized finance, decentralized exchanges, DeFi lending, crypto regulation. Each skill a doorway into tomorrow. Each professional a pioneer. Each innovation a step into uncharted territory. Rest now in the knowledge that the future is being built by curious minds, by dedicated professionals, by people willing to venture into the unknown and make it known. You don't need to master everything. You just need to find what calls to you, what excites you, what feels like your frontier. We continue our peaceful journey, deeper into the skills that will shape tomorrow. Your breathing is slow and steady, your body completely relaxed, and there's nothing to grasp, nothing to worry about. Just listen, and let these words flow over you like a gentle stream. Tonight we turn our attention back to what makes us most human: leadership, well-being, coaching, design, and the voice itself. In a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence, these human-centered skills become more valuable, not less. Let's begin, slowly, peacefully. The first skill we explore tonight, as you settle even more deeply into comfort, is human-centered leadership and psychological safety development. This has become the cornerstone of organizational success in 2025. Not technical skills, not strategic planning alone, but empathy, emotional intelligence, and a focus on employee well-being as fundamental leadership qualities. Research demonstrates something remarkable. Companies prioritizing psychological safety and mental well-being report up to 20% a higher productivity. 20%. They see 10% higher retention rates and improved innovation outcomes. Leaders who understand neuroscience-based stress management, who know how the brain responds to pressure and uncertainty, and can create psychologically safe digital workplaces are becoming invaluable. As organizations navigate hybrid work and AI integration, as people struggle to find their place in rapidly changing environments, leaders who put humans first, who create spaces where people feel safe to take risks, to make mistakes, to learn and grow, these leaders become irreplaceable. Because technology can do many things, but it cannot replace human leadership, the kind that sees people, that values people, that helps people flourish. Now, breathing gently, we explore a new concept, well-being intelligence. Such a beautiful phrase. It's emerging as essential for leaders managing technological transformation. This involves balancing AI-driven efficiency improvements with human-centered support, not choosing one or the other, but finding harmony between them. Addressing employee concerns about workload increases from automation, because sometimes efficiency gains create new pressures, new expectations, new anxieties, and measuring organizational success through both performance and well-being indicators. Not just profits, not just productivity, but human flourishing. Leaders who can create cultures where technology enhances human flourishing, rather than replacing human value, will differentiate their organizations. They'll attract the best talent. They'll retain their people. They'll build something sustainable, something meaningful. This is the critical balance. Technology and humanity, efficiency and well-being, progress and care. Leaders with well-being intelligence navigate this balance with wisdom, with compassion, with a deep understanding that organizations are made of people, and people need more than just performance metrics to thrive. Let your mind rest gently as we turn to mentoring. Professional mentoring and leadership coaching have become organizational imperatives for navigating AI-driven transformation and building psychological safety. Organizations investing in mentor-coach models report 20% higher engagement, improved retention, and accelerated development of emerging leaders. The distinction between coaching and counseling is critical. Coaching is forward-focused goal setting, helping people identify where they want to go and how to get there. Counseling explores past experiences, processing what has happened, healing old wounds. Coaching is the growth model, driving organizational transformation in 2025. Not therapy, not advice giving, but powerful questions that help the people discover their own answers, that unlock potential, that accelerate development. Mentoring and coaching aren't luxuries. They're how organizations develop their next generation of leaders, how they transfer knowledge, how they build culture, how they help people grow into roles they didn't know they could fill. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore coaching as a profession. The International Coach Federation certification pathway has seen exponential growth. ICC, Associate Certified Coach, PCC, Professional Certified Coach, MCC, Master Certified Coach. 3 levels of deepening expertise. Organizations are investing in career coaching, personal development coaching, and executive coaching. Career coaching alone shows surging demand, with individuals receiving career coaching experiencing 25% higher job satisfaction and improved work performance. The mental health coaching sector reflects the contemporary pursuit of holistic well-being, with evidence-based training programs expanding across organizations globally. Coaching has evolved from a niche profession to a mainstream necessity because people need support, they need guidance, they need someone who believes in them, who asks powerful questions, who helps them see possibilities they couldn't see alone. Coaches don't give answers. They help people find their own. And in a world of constant change, constant uncertainty, constant transformation, that guidance becomes invaluable. Breathe deeply now, and we turn to strategic workforce planning. Talent intelligence represents a new specialization where professionals combine data analytics with human capital strategy. They forecast talent needs, predict hiring requirements, and deliver competitive insights into regional talent availability and competitor talent strategies. This transforms recruitment from reactive sourcing, scrambling to fill positions as they open, to proactive workforce planning, anticipating needs months in advance, enabling organizations to anticipate skill gaps, identify high-potential internal candidates for succession planning, and optimize workforce composition. Professionals skilled in building talent intelligence dashboards that visualize market trends, skill availability, and organizational capabilities enable strategic business decisions weeks or months earlier than traditional approaches. They see the future of workforce needs. They understand labor markets. They help organizations stay ahead, building teams before competitors even realize what skills they'll need. Talent intelligence is strategic, analytical, forward-thinking. It's about having the right people, with the right skills, in the right roles, at exactly the right time. Let yourself sink deeper into relaxation as we explore AI in recruitment. Talent acquisition is being revolutionized by agentic AI that autonomously manages recruitment workflows with minimal human intervention, enabling recruiters to focus on relationship building and cultural alignment rather than administrative tasks. Critical competencies include mastering AI-driven sourcing platforms that identify passive candidates, people who aren't actively looking but might be perfect fits, building talent pipelines before positions even open, implementing bias detection systems, ensuring fair candidate evaluation, because I can perpetuate biases if not carefully monitored. Designing automated onboarding workflows that reduce administrative overhead by 40%, and leveraging predictive analytics to forecast talent needs and forecast attrition risk, knowing who might leave before they do. Organizations implementing AI-enhanced talent acquisition shorten time to hire by up to 50% while improving candidate quality. Professionals who combine recruitment expertise with AI literacy enable organizations to navigate global talent pools, foster diverse workforces, and make data-driven hiring decisions at scale. This isn't replacing recruiters, it's empowering them, freeing them from busy work so they can focus on what matters most: human connection, cultural fit, building relationships that lead to long-term success. Now, breathing peacefully, we turn to design. UI/UX. Design demand is skyrocketing globally with near ubiquitous requirement for digital products across every industry by 2026. Beyond aesthetics, beyond making things look pretty, the modern UI/UX designer must master AI-integrated design, human-AI interaction design, prototyping for voice interfaces, augmented reality and virtual reality interfaces, and design systems architecture. UX researchers analyzing user behavior at scale are becoming one of the most in-demand specializations. Design-led companies outperform peers on innovation and user retention. Companies now hire designers in leadership roles, chief design officer, product director, recognizing that design-driven cultures are the hallmark of future-ready organizations. Design isn't decoration, it's strategy. It's how you communicate with users. It's how you make complex technology accessible. It's how you create experiences people love, products people recommend, interfaces people actually want to use. Designers bridge the gap between technology and humanity. They make the complex simple. They make the powerful usable. They make the digital world more human. Let your mind drift gently as we explore mobile development. Mobile app development expertise, particularly with frameworks like React Native and Flutter, remains highly sought after in 2025. Combined with UX design principles and user experience psychology, mobile developers who can create intuitive and visually appealing interfaces have significant career prospects in the booming app development ecosystem. Because everyone has a phone, everyone uses apps, billions of people, every day, interacting with mobile applications, shopping, banking, learning, connecting, working, playing. Mobile developers create the interfaces through which modern life happens. They build the tools we use constantly, the apps we can't imagine living without. And the best mobile developers don't just write code. They understand psychology. They know how people think, how people navigate, how people make decisions. They create experiences that feel natural, obvious, effortless. Even though creating that effortlessness requires tremendous skill. Now, as you relax even more deeply, let's explore the human voice. Voice AI represents the next major human-computer interface transformation. 22% of Y Combinator's late 2024 cohort were voice-first startups. 22%. That's extraordinary. Critical competencies include understanding automatic speech recognition architecture, how computers hear and understand speech, large language model integration for natural language understanding, comprehending not just words but meaning, text-to-speech synthesis with expressive voice generation, making computers sound human, and domain-specific model fine-tuning for specialized vocabulary and accents, enterprise-grade voice. AI performance targets include word error rate less than 5%, sub-2 second latency, and 50+ language support. Organizations deploying voice AI for customer service, healthcare transcription, and operational automation are achieving 400% user adoption growth within 1 week. 400%. People love voice interfaces. They feel natural. They feel human. Voice AI development expertise is exceptionally valuable because voice is our most natural interface. We've been speaking for hundreds of thousands of years. We've been typing for decades. Voice feels right. And professionals who can build voice AI systems, who can make computers understand and speak naturally, they're building the future of human-computer interaction. And finally, as this segment draws to a close, we come to voice synthesis itself. Voice cloning and custom voice synthesis represent emerging specializations, enabling organizations to create branded, emotionally expressive AI voices for customer service, audiobooks, podcasts, healthcare, gaming. Technical competencies include speaker verification and voice encoding, neural vocoder architecture, prosody modeling for natural-sounding speech, and fine-tuning synthesis models for emotional expression. The global speech and voice recognition market is projected to reach $29.28 billion by 2027, with voice synthesis as one of the fastest-growing subsegments. Professionals mastering custom voice generation will enable organizations to create consistent, branded voice experiences that enhance user engagement and emotional connection. Imagine a company with its own unique voice, not a generic robot, but a distinctive, emotionally expressive voice that represents its brand, that connects with customers, that feels personal, familiar, trustworthy. This is what voice synthesis makes possible. Customization at scale, emotion embedded in code, technology that sounds genuinely human. And so, as these 10 skills settle into your awareness, remember that even as technology advances, human skills become more valuable. Human-centered leadership, well-being intelligence, mentoring and coaching, talent intelligence, AI-powered recruitment, UI/UX design, mobile development, voice AI, voice synthesis. Each skill bridges technology and humanity. Each professional serves human needs. Each capability makes technology more accessible, more useful, more human. Rest now in the knowledge that the future needs your humanity, your empathy, your creativity, your voice. Technology amplifies these gifts. It doesn't replace them. The more powerful our tools become, the more we need wise, compassionate humans to guide their use. This gentle exploration, this peaceful journey through the skills that will shape our world. Your body is at complete rest, your mind drifting calmly, and there's nothing you need to hold on to. Just listen, and let these ideas wash over you like waves on a tranquil shore. Tonight we explore two powerful themes. First, understanding people, their behaviors, their decisions, their stories. And second, understanding our planet, its resources, its future, its needs. Let's begin. Slowly, peacefully. The first skill we encounter tonight, as you breathe deeply and evenly, is consumer psychology and behavioral data analytics. Consumer behavior analysis, powered by AI and machine learning, is transforming marketing and product development. Companies using behavioral insights increase customer retention by 25 to 35%. Critical skills include consumer neuroscience, understanding emotional triggers, why people choose what they choose, why they feel what they feel, implementing A/B testing and photo elicitation research methods, predictive analytics modeling customer lifetime value, knowing not just what someone might buy today, but what they're worth over years of relationship, and designing personalized marketing systems using AI. An emerging specialization is behavioral finance, where professionals combine psychological understanding with financial analytics to predict market behavior and optimize investment strategies. The integration of psychology, data science, and AI creates high-value roles for professionals who understand the why behind consumer decisions. Not just what people do, but why they do it. Not just patterns in data, but meaning in behavior. These professionals bridge numbers and narratives, statistics and stories, algorithms and human nature. Now, as you sink deeper into comfort, we focus on finance and psychology together. Behavioral finance expertise is rapidly becoming critical in fintech, investment management, and financial risk analysis. Machine learning algorithms integrate psychological modeling to predict market behavior with greater accuracy. Professionals skilled in behavioral finance understand emotional drivers of market cycles, why people panic during crashes, why they become overconfident during booms. They can design interfaces encouraging long-term investing behavior, nudging people toward wisdom rather than impulse, and apply psychology-based machine learning to optimize prediction models. Fintech companies increasingly embed behavioral modules into trading platforms and advisory tools, creating demand for professionals who speak both finance and psychology, who understand spreadsheets and souls, who see markets as collections of human decisions, each driven by hope and fear, greed and caution. This emerging specialization commands premium compensation due to the intersection of critical financial decision-making and novel psychological insights. Because markets aren't just numbers, they're people, and understanding people, their biases, their emotions, their patterns, that's the key to understanding markets. Let yourself relax even more deeply as we explore sales. Modern sales success in 2025 requires leveraging AI analytics for predicting buyer behavior, deploying AI-driven coaching for real-time feedback on negotiation tactics, understanding predictive behavioral modeling to anticipate customer needs, sometimes before customers themselves know what they need. Traditional negotiation approaches are being replaced by data-informed strategies that combine historical analysis with real-time consumer behavioral insights. Sales professionals combining negotiation psychology with AI-powered insights significantly outperform peers using conventional tactics. They don't just push products, they understand people, they listen, they analyze, they personalize. They use data not to manipulate, but to genuinely serve, to offer exactly what's needed, exactly when it's needed. This is sales transformed, from persuasion to understanding, from transaction to relationship, from gut feeling to data-driven insight, all in service of human connection. Breathe slowly now. And let's turn to storytelling. Content creation across platforms remains exceptionally high demand with evolving technical requirements. Success in 2025 requires proficiency in camera techniques, videography, lighting, audio production, video editing, graphic design, and understanding of on-demand, streaming, and broadcast platforms. The emerging frontier includes virtual reality, AI image generation, and drone photography, opening new opportunities for creators who master these emerging technologies. Content creators are the storytellers of our age, the artists, the communicators. They capture attention in a world overflowing with information. They create meaning from chaos. They tell stories that resonate, that move people, that change minds. Whether it's a 30-second video on social media or a feature-length documentary, content creators shape how we see the world, how we understand each other, how we connect across distance and difference. Now, breathing peacefully, we explore enterprise storytelling. Video production expertise has expanded from entertainment into core business operations. Major corporations are heavily investing in internal content teams. Critical competencies include directing and producing short-form and long-form content, working with cinematography teams to establish visual storytelling standards, editorial expertise, graphics design, and project management in high-pressure environments. This specialization commands significant compensation across industries because every organization needs to tell its story to its customers, to its employees, to its stakeholders. Video is how stories are told in 2025. Visual, emotional, immediate, and professionals who can craft these stories, who understand both the technical craft and the narrative art. They're invaluable. They're translators, taking complex business ideas and making them accessible, making them compelling, making them memorable. Let your mind rest gently as we turn to supply chains. Supply chain expertise has become a competitive differentiator. Early adopters of AI-enabled supply chain management reduce logistics costs by 15%, improve inventory levels by 35%, and enhance service levels by 65%. Critical skills include mastering AI and machine learning for demand forecasting, automation oversight, blockchain for supply chain transparency, and IoT-enabled real-time tracking. Professionals combining strategic problem-solving with data literacy in supply chain contexts command premium compensation. Supply chains are the invisible infrastructure of modern life. Everything you touch, everything you use, everything you consume. It traveled through supply chains, from raw materials to finished products, from factories to warehouses, to stores to homes. Supply chain professionals orchestrate this complexity. They ensure products arrive when needed, where needed, at the right cost. They navigate disruptions. They optimize flows. They make modern life possible. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore the physical work of logistics. Specialized technical skills in warehousing and logistics remain consistently high demand with strong earning potential. Expertise in forklift operation, cherry pickers, and advanced material handling equipment, combined with knowledge of warehouse automation systems, provides competitive advantage in the logistics sector. These skills underpin efficient operations, cost reduction, and precise delivery timelines critical to business success. This is skilled physical work that requires training, work that requires expertise, work that keeps the world moving, every package delivered, every product stocked, every shipment received. Behind all of it, skilled professionals operating equipment, managing inventory, coordinating movements. These aren't low-skilled jobs. They're specialized professions, essential, valuable, respected. Breathe deeply now. And we turn to the planet itself. Green skills represent one of the fastest-growing skill categories globally. 70% of companies worldwide are actively hiring professionals with sustainability expertise. But here's the challenge. Demand is drastically outpacing supply. Projections show a 260% rise in green jobs by 2030, but only a 60% increase in professionals with green skills. 260% versus 60%. This creates a critical talent gap, an enormous opportunity. The most sought-after green skills include sustainable growth, greenhouse gas protocols, net zero emissions planning, responsible sourcing, and environmental compliance. These professionals help organizations reduce their environmental impact, help companies transition to sustainable practices, help the world address climate change. This isn't just a job category. It's a calling, a chance to contribute to something larger than profit, something more important than quarterly earnings, the health of our planet, the future of our children. Let yourself sink into deeper relaxation as we explore renewable energy. The renewable energy sector is projected to create 7 to 8 million new jobs globally by 2030. solar and wind represent 90% of new utility-scale installations in 2024. 90%. Critical emerging roles include solar installation technicians, wind turbine service technicians, electrical power line workers, battery storage specialists, and energy efficiency analysts. However, 13.1% of renewable energy jobs remain unfilled, compared to just 2.1% in broader skilled trades, creating exceptional opportunity for professionals who rapidly develop expertise in these technical domains. Green hydrogen technology, enhanced geothermal systems, and long-duration energy storage are emerging specializations commanding premium compensation. These professionals are building the energy infrastructure of tomorrow, moving humanity away from fossil fuels toward clean, renewable power, solar panels on rooftops, wind turbines on hillsides, batteries storing energy for when it's needed. This is the energy transition, happening now, creating millions of jobs, millions of opportunities. And finally, as this segment draws to a close, we come to the circular economy. The transition to a circular economy is creating 7 to 8 million new jobs globally by 2030. Yet there is a critical skills gap, with 57.84% of circular startups reporting difficulty finding workers with circular economy expertise. Core competencies include repair and refurbishment techniques, giving products second lives instead of throwing them away, advanced material sorting, understanding what can be recycled and how, reverse logistics optimization, getting products back for reuse or recycling, life cycle assessment modeling, understanding environmental impact from creation to disposal, supply chain transparency using blockchain, and circular product design, creating things meant to last, meant to be repaired, meant to be recycled. Emerging specialist roles include recycling plant operators, circular product designers, repair technicians, and blockchain specialists for supply chain traceability. Circular innovation requires vocational training, combining technical skills with strategic thinking about resource optimization. This is about changing how we think about stuff. Not take, make, dispose, but reduce, reuse, recycle. Not linear economy, but circular. Not waste, but resources. These professionals are redesigning how humanity relates to materials, to products, to the physical world. And so, as these 10 skills settle into your awareness, remember that understanding matters. Understanding people, their psychology, their behavior, their stories. Understanding planet, its resources, its limits, its potential. Consumer psychology, behavioral finance, data-driven sales, content creation, video production, supply chain management, warehousing, green skills, renewable energy, circular economy. Each skill a form of understanding, each professional a bridge, each capability a contribution to a world that works better for people and for planet. Rest now in the knowledge that these skills serve something larger. They help us understand ourselves better. They help us care for our world better. They help us build a future that's sustainable, equitable, thriving. We are going deeper into this peaceful journey through skills that will shape tomorrow. Your breathing is slow and steady, your body completely at rest, and there's nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to grasp. Just listen, and let these words flow over you like a gentle breeze. Tonight we explore restoration, not just building new things, but healing what's been damaged, not just creating, but regenerating, skills that help repair our planet, restore ecosystems, reimagine materials, and redesign systems to work with nature instead of against it. Let's begin, slowly, peacefully. The first skill we encounter tonight, as you settle even more deeply into comfort, is bioeconomy and regenerative leadership for sustainable systems. Bioeconomy expertise means leveraging biological resources to create sustainable solutions across agriculture, textiles, materials, science, and energy. Regenerative leadership combines understanding of circular systems with the ability to design business models that actively restore natural resources rather than merely reducing damage. Not just doing less harm, but actually healing. Real-world applications include circular textile solutions, regenerative agriculture practices, and bio-based material innovation. Professionals combining sustainability science knowledge with business acumen and systems thinking will shape the next generation of competitive advantage. These leaders see beyond profit. They see possibility. They understand that businesses can be forces for restoration, that commerce can heal rather than harm, that economic success and ecological health aren't opposites, they're partners. This is leadership reimagined, purpose-driven, planet-centered, regenerative. Now, breathing gently, we turn to adaptation. Climate adaptation expertise has become critical for municipal governments, infrastructure operators, and organizational leaders. As extreme weather impacts intensify, as floods and droughts and storms become more frequent and severe, demand accelerates. Essential competencies include conducting climate risk vulnerability assessments, understanding what's most at risk, what needs protection most urgently, understanding climate information systems and modeling tools, seeing into possible futures, designing context-specific adaptation strategies that center equity and indigenous leadership. Because climate impacts don't affect everyone equally, and solutions must be just, and managing complex, multi-stakeholder adaptation projects, bringing together governments, communities, organizations, all working toward resilience. Professionals combining climate science knowledge with project management and cross-sector stakeholder facilitation enable communities to proactively build resilience rather than reactively responding to climate disasters. Not waiting for catastrophe, but preparing. Not reacting, but anticipating. Not surviving, but thriving despite change. Let yourself relax even more deeply as we explore habitat restoration. Habitat restoration. Engineering represents a high-impact specialization, addressing biodiversity loss and ecosystem degradation. Career demand is accelerating as conservation becomes mainstream. Essential competencies include conducting ecological assessments to identify restoration opportunities, seeing where nature needs help most, designing landscape interventions that restore ecosystem function, bringing back the processes that make ecosystems work, understanding fish passage engineering and watershed restoration, helping water flow naturally, helping wildlife move freely, integrating civil engineering with ecological principles, combining human infrastructure needs with ecological health, and collaborating across scientific disciplines, hydrology, botany, entomology, ornithology. These professionals require both bachelor's degrees in environmental engineering and hands-on field experience. The UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration has created renewed institutional commitment and funding. positioning habitat restoration engineers as key contributors to global sustainability. They're healers, working with living systems, bringing back what's been lost, creating spaces where nature can flourish again. Now, as you breathe slowly, we consider teaching itself. As awareness of ecosystem restoration grows, professionals with the ability to develop and deliver restoration curricula are increasingly in demand across universities and training institutions globally. Competencies include designing comprehensive restoration programs covering scientific principles, practical techniques, and holistic ecosystem understanding, integrating indigenous and local knowledge into restoration frameworks, honoring traditional wisdom about land stewardship, and delivering hands-on fieldwork opportunities, because restoration can't be learned only from books. The Rewilding Academy and similar initiatives are developing courses and certification programs, creating career pathways for educators and curriculum designers specialized in ecosystem restoration. This represents an emerging meta-career serving the broader ecosystem restoration movement, teaching the teachers, training the trainers, multiplying impact, because every educator trained creates hundreds or thousands of practitioners. Every curriculum developed reaches countless students. This is leverage, impact at scale. Knowledge flowing outward in ever-widening circles. Breathe peacefully now, and we explore justice. Climate adaptation and sustainability transitions increasingly require leaders who understand environmental governance structures, equity implications, and community-centered decision-making. Essential competencies include understanding how climate impacts intersect with social equity and worker health, because environmental and social justice are inseparable. Designing adaptation strategies that center indigenous leadership and traditional ecological knowledge, honoring those who've stewarded land for generations, navigating multi-jurisdictional governance frameworks, working across boundaries, and ensuring adaptation initiatives benefit vulnerable populations rather than exacerbating inequality. Climate work will require attention to how environmental changes affect worker well-being and community resilience. Leaders combining environmental expertise with social justice framing will shape how organizations and governments respond to climate challenges. Because climate action is not really climate action. It's just more inequality wearing green clothes. True climate leadership centers equity, centers community, centers justice. Let your mind rest gently as we look to the skies. The aerospace industry is pursuing net zero carbon goals, and expertise in sustainable aviation fuels, hybrid electric propulsion, and hydrogen fuel cells represents the frontier of aerospace innovation. Critical competencies include understanding thermodynamic implications of alternative fuels, designing propulsion systems that operate safely and efficiently with new fuel types, and optimizing engine efficiency for reduced emissions. Organizations and governments globally are investing heavily in green aviation technology, creating exceptional opportunities for propulsion engineers and systems designers who can translate sustainability imperatives into practical engineering solutions. Aviation must change. It contributes significantly to emissions. But people need to travel. Goods need to move. The answer isn't stopping flight. It's transforming it, making it clean, making it sustainable. These engineers are making that transformation real, creating the green aviation of tomorrow. Now, breathing deeply, we explore materials at the smallest scale, battery materials, chemistry is experiencing explosive demand, driven by electric vehicle adoption and renewable energy storage requirements. Essential expertise includes lithium-ion battery architecture optimization, emerging technologies like solid-state and sodium-ion batteries, battery recycling and second life optimization, and thermal management engineering. Polymer and composite materials scientists are equally in demand for lightweight aerospace components and sustainable alternatives to traditional plastics. This specialization commands premium compensation due to acute talent scarcity and critical importance to energy transition. Batteries are everywhere, in phones, in laptops, in cars, in grid storage. The better our batteries, the more renewable energy we can use, the farther electric vehicles can travel, the lighter aircraft can be. Materials scientists working on batteries are enabling the entire energy transition. Every improvement in battery technology ripples outward, enabling countless other innovations. Let yourself sink into deeper relaxation as we go even smaller. Nanotechnology is growing at 30% or more annually, with acute talent shortages in materials, science, and nanotech roles. 30 to 40% of positions remain unfilled. Critical specializations include nanomaterials, scientists developing next-generation semiconductors and batteries, process engineers scaling nanofabrication, and computational scientists using AI-driven simulation for materials discovery. Entry-level salaries range $75,000 to $100,000, with mid-career professionals earning $110,000 to $150,000, and senior experts commanding $160,000 to $200,000 or more. Emerging opportunities include quantum-ready nanoelectronics, sustainable nanotechnology for environmental applications, and biomedical nanodevices for regenerative medicine. Nanotechnology works at the scale of atoms and molecules, building materials and devices smaller than you can see, smaller than you can imagine, creating properties that don't exist in bulk materials. This is engineering at the boundary between chemistry and physics, between matter and magic. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore computation and materials together. Materials informatics engineers use AI and machine learning to predict and design materials with desired properties. This represents an emerging, high-value specialization. Critical competencies include density functional theory, simulations, machine learning algorithms for materials discovery, high-throughput computing, and understanding structure-property performance relationships. This field bridges physics, chemistry, and computer science, enabling accelerated discovery of sustainable materials, advanced semiconductors, and next-generation batteries. Organizations like NIST and national labs actively recruit professionals with this hybrid expertise, with roles commanding exceptional compensation. Instead of discovering materials through years of trial and error, these professionals use AI to predict which materials will work. They simulate thousands of possibilities. They find needles in haystacks. They accelerate innovation by orders of magnitude. This is the future of material science: computational, predictive, fast, and finally, as this segment draws to a close, we come to building layer by layer. The additive manufacturing industry faces critical talent shortages despite explosive growth. Demand for skilled operators, engineers, and technicians dramatically outpaces supply. Essential competencies include mastery of advanced high-temperature materials, CAD software proficiency, materials, science knowledge, and practical hands-on experience optimizing 3D printing processes. Key career paths include 3D printing operators advancing to equipment managers, manufacturing technicians specializing in additive manufacturing, 3D designers, and materials engineers. Industries including aerospace, medical devices, automotive, and oil and gas are aggressively hiring specialized talent. 3D printing changes manufacturing fundamentally. Instead of cutting away material, you add it layer by layer. Instead of mass production requiring expensive molds, you can customize every piece. Instead of shipping parts, you can send files and print locally. This is manufacturing reimagined, distributed, customized, efficient, and the professionals who master it are building the future of how we make things. And so, as these 10 skills settle into your awareness, remember that restoration is possible. Healing is possible. We can repair what's been damaged. We can regenerate what's been depleted. Bioeconomy leadership, climate adaptation, habitat restoration, restoration education, environmental justice, sustainable aviation, battery technology, nanotechnology, computational materials science, additive manufacturing, each skill a tool for healing, each professional a healer, each innovation a step toward restoration. Rest now in the knowledge that our challenges are great, but so is human ingenuity, so is human dedication, so is human creativity. The same species that created problems can solve them. The same intelligence that damaged ecosystems can restore them. The same hands that built destructive systems can build regenerative ones. Your body is completely relaxed, your mind drifting calmly, and there's nothing to hold on to, nothing to remember. Just listen and let these ideas float through your awareness like stars appearing in a twilight sky. Tonight we venture into frontiers that push the boundaries of what's possible. Manufacturing with light, flying with intelligence, designing with algorithms, learning through immersion, interfacing with minds, editing life itself. Let's begin. Slowly, peacefully. The first skill we explore tonight, as you breathe deeply and evenly, is advanced manufacturing and 3D printing process engineering. The additive manufacturing industry faces critical talent shortages despite 40% or greater annual growth. Demand for skilled 3D printing operators, process engineers, and material specialists far exceeds supply. Essential competencies include mastery of high-temperature materials, ULTIM, PPSF, PEI, CAD expertise, materials science knowledge, process optimization for emerging technologies like metal 3D printing and ceramic printing, and understanding design for additive manufacturing principles. Real-world applications span aerospace with lightweight components, medical devices with custom implants, and automotive sectors. Professionals who combine hands-on manufacturing expertise with AI-driven process optimization will drive the next generation of additive manufacturing innovation. This isn't just printing plastic trinkets. This is building titanium aircraft parts, creating custom bone implants, manufacturing rocket engine components, layer by layer, precisely, perfectly. This is how we'll build the future. Not in massive factories with expensive molds, but wherever we need parts, printing them on demand. Now, as you sink deeper into comfort, we explore materials that fly. Advanced composites and materials science represent the cutting edge of aerospace innovation. Carbon fiber composites, ceramic matrix composites, and high-temperature alloys driving next-generation aircraft efficiency and performance. Critical competencies include mastering material selection for extreme environments, understanding manufacturing processes for composite layup and curing, conducting fatigue and failure analysis, and optimizing strength-to-weight ratios for enhanced fuel efficiency. As the aerospace industry pursues net zero carbon goals through fuel-efficient aircraft and sustainable aviation fuels, professionals with deep materials expertise combined with sustainability awareness will lead innovation. The median salary for aerospace materials engineers is $134,000 or more, with significant growth potential as the commercial space industry and urban air mobility markets expand. These materials scientists make aircraft lighter, stronger, more efficient. Every pound of weight saved means less fuel burned. Every improvement in strength means greater safety. Every advancement in heat resistance means higher performance. They're creating materials that didn't exist in nature, that couldn't exist without human ingenuity. Let yourself relax even more deeply as we turn to simulation. Modern aerospace engineering is increasingly reliant on advanced computing. Computational fluid dynamics and finite element analysis simulations replacing costly physical prototyping and accelerating development cycles. Critical competencies include mastery of CFD software suites, ability to analyze vast data sets from flight simulations, programming proficiency in Python and MATLAB, and understanding how to translate simulation results into design optimization. AI-driven design automation increasingly uses CFD simulations to explore thousands of design variations, requiring engineers who can guide AI optimization toward performance and safety objectives. Aerospace professionals combining deep CFD expertise with AI literacy enable organizations to reduce development time and costs while improving aircraft performance. Instead of building and testing dozens of physical prototypes, they simulate thousands of designs, finding the optimal shape, the most efficient wing, the safest structure, all in virtual space, all before building anything physical. Breathe slowly now, and let's explore integration. Modern aircraft are flying computers with highly complex systems integration challenges, requiring professionals who understand how mechanical, electronic, and software subsystems interact seamlessly. Critical competencies include avionics architecture, systems testing and validation, redundancy management for safety-critical systems, and integration of autonomous systems into legacy platforms. The rapid evolution toward autonomous flight, from commercial air transportation to urban air mobility and autonomous cargo, creates demand for systems integration specialists who understand both traditional aircraft architecture and emerging autonomous navigation systems. This specialization commands premium compensation due to the safety-critical nature of systems integration work. These professionals ensure everything works together, that the engines communicate with the flight computers, that backup systems activate when needed, that autonomous systems make safe decisions. Integration is invisible when it works, but it's everything. It's what makes complex systems reliable. Now, breathing peacefully, we consider security in the skies. Cybersecurity in aerospace systems represents one of the most critical specializations. Aircraft increasingly connected to ground systems and dependent on software for flight control. Digital twins, synchronized virtual replicas of physical aircraft, enable real-time monitoring, predictive maintenance, and performance optimization, reducing maintenance costs and improving reliability. Critical competencies include securing aircraft communication systems, implementing secure software development, life cycles for flight critical code, and designing digital twin architectures that maintain real-time synchronization with minimal latency. Aerospace professionals skilled in both cybersecurity and digital twin implementation command exceptional compensation due to the safety and national security implications. Because aircraft must be secured, their systems protected from interference, their software defended from attacks. When thousands of lives depend on code working correctly, security becomes paramount, absolute, non-negotiable. Let your mind rest gently as we turn to buildings. Parametric design, using algorithmic systems where designs automatically update based on changing parameters, is revolutionizing architecture by enabling optimization for sustainability, efficiency, and aesthetic innovation simultaneously. Critical competencies include mastery of parametric design, tools like Grasshopper and Dynamo, and generative design platforms. Understanding how to set parameters for environmental performance, daylight, thermal comfort, material efficiency, and integrating AI for autonomous design exploration. Real-world examples like Abu Dhabi's Al Bar Towers demonstrate how parametric design creates responsive facades that adapt to environmental conditions, reducing energy consumption by 20 to 40% while achieving striking aesthetics. Architects combining parametric expertise with sustainability and AI literacy will shape the sustainable buildings of the future. Buildings that breathe, that respond to sun and wind, that optimize themselves for comfort and efficiency. Architecture becomes alive, adaptive, intelligent. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore generative design. Generative AI extending parametric design enables computers to autonomously generate thousands of design variations based on specified constraints and performance objectives, fundamentally transforming the architect's role from form maker to designer of intelligent systems. Critical competencies include understanding AI and machine learning fundamentals, defining design objectives and constraints that guide generative algorithms, and evaluating AI-generated design options for feasibility and cultural appropriateness. Future buildings will likely become self-adaptive systems, adjusting in real time, modifying facades, lighting, and energy use based on environmental and occupancy conditions. Architects mastering generative design, combined with human creativity, cultural sensitivity, and sustainability principles, will lead next-generation architecture. The architect doesn't draw every detail. They define the rules, the constraints, the goals, and AI explores possibilities, generating hundreds or thousands of options, finding solutions humans might never imagine. Then human judgment selects, refines, perfects. This is collaboration between human and machine, between creativity and computation. Breathe deeply now, and we enter virtual worlds, extended reality, combining virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality, is transforming corporate training, education, and professional development with measurable return on investment. Organizations using VR training for employee development report learners are 4 times faster to train than in classrooms, 275% more confident applying skills, and 3.75 times more emotionally connected to content. Real-world applications include Delta Airlines training 1,500 desync technicians annually in VR, PwC's leadership and soft skills training, and Stanford and Harvard integrating VR into medical and design curricula. Critical skills include XR platform development, haptic feedback integration, AI-powered adaptive learning within immersive environments, and designing emotionally responsive virtual scenarios. You can practice dangerous procedures safely. You can explore impossible places. You can learn by doing, without risk, without cost, without limits. Extended reality makes learning immersive, emotional, unforgettable. Let yourself sink into deeper relaxation as we approach the mind itself. Brain-computer interfaces represent the next technological frontier. Breakthrough research demonstrates that spinal stimulation can cut BCI learning time in half and enable individuals who previously failed to control BCIS to successfully master the technology. Modern electrode arrays can now monitor hundreds or thousands of neurons simultaneously, with applications in motor rehabilitation, assistive technology for paralyzed individuals, and stroke recovery. As BCIS transition from research to commercial healthcare applications, professionals skilled in neural signal processing, neurosurgical implantation, and BCI software architecture will pioneer an entirely new field. The integration of BCIS with AI represents the frontier of human AI collaboration. Imagine controlling computers with thought, moving prosthetic limbs with intention, restoring mobility to those who've lost it. This isn't science fiction. This is happening now, in labs, in hospitals, in the minds and bodies of brave volunteers. Brain-computer interfaces are bridging the gap between thought and action, between mind and machine. And finally, as this segment draws to a close, we come to life itself. CRISPR-Cas, 9 and advanced gene editing techniques represent one of the fastest growing biotechnology specializations. Synthetic biology growing at 17 to 22% compound annual growth rate globally. Critical competencies include mastering CRISPR and benchling, CRISPR design tools, understanding base editing and prime editing variants, and proficiency with Sanger sequencing validation workflows. Gene therapy specialists, synthetic biologists, and molecular biologists with CRISPR expertise are in acute demand across pharmaceutical companies, biotech startups, and research institutions. Career growth expected to accelerate as gene therapies move from research to commercial deployment. CRISPR lets us edit genes precisely, reliably, correcting genetic diseases, creating drought-resistant crops, developing new medicines. This is the power to reshape life at its most fundamental level, the ability to rewrite the code that makes us who we are. Used wisely, with ethics and care, it could eliminate suffering, cure diseases thought incurable, transform medicine, transform agriculture, transform our relationship with biology itself. And so, as these 10 skills settle into your awareness, remember that the future is being built right now. Advanced manufacturing, aerospace composites, computational simulation, systems integration, aerospace, cybersecurity, parametric design, generative architecture, extended reality, brain-computer interfaces, gene editing, each skill a frontier, each professional a pioneer, each innovation a step into territory we've never explored before. Rest now in the knowledge that human potential is vast, that our creativity is boundless, that our ingenuity can solve problems we haven't even imagined yet. We can build lighter, fly smarter, design better, learn deeper, connect more directly, edit more precisely. And so we arrive at our final segment, the completion of this peaceful journey through skills that will shape the future. Your body is deeply relaxed, your mind floating gently, and there's nothing to grasp, nothing to hold. Just listen, and let these final ideas settle over you like soft snow on a quiet winter night. Tonight we explore healing and nourishing. Medicine transformed by genes and data. Agriculture reimagined through technology. Health optimized through science. These are skills that touch the most fundamental aspects of human existence. Health, food, life itself. Let's begin, slowly, peacefully. The first skill we encounter tonight, as you breathe deeply and evenly, is biomanufacturing, GMP compliance, and bioprocess engineering. Biomanufacturing has emerged as a critical bottleneck. Supply of trained bioprocess engineers and good manufacturing, practice-compliant specialists is severely constrained relative to demand. Essential skills include lab automation, programming using Python and Opentrons, mastering GMP compliance frameworks for cell therapies and vaccines, quality control analysis, and understanding regulatory pathways for biologics. As cell therapy and vaccine manufacturing scale globally, professionals combining wet lab expertise with manufacturing scale-up knowledge will command exceptional compensation. These professionals don't just discover treatments in laboratories, they figure out how to make them at scale, how to produce millions of doses safely, how to maintain quality across thousands of batches. They're the bridge between discovery and delivery, between laboratory and patient, between promise and reality. Now, as you sink deeper into comfort, we explore the cloud and genomes together. Cloud-native analysis platforms are transforming genomics research and precision medicine, creating demand for genomics cloud engineers, bioinformaticians, and data stewards skilled in platforms like Terra.bio, DNAnexus, and AWS HealthOmics. This specialization bridges biology and cloud architecture, requiring expertise in data pipelines, reproducibility frameworks, and large-scale genomic analysis at cloud scale. As personalized medicine scales from research to clinical practice, professionals combining genomic knowledge with cloud architecture expertise will drive innovation in precision healthcare. Genomic data is massive. A single human genome is gigabytes of information. Analyzing thousands or millions of genomes requires enormous computing power. Cloud platforms make this possible. These professionals build the infrastructure that makes precision medicine real, that lets researchers analyze data at scales previously impossible. Let yourself relax even more deeply as we explore AI and biology. The fastest growing emerging biotech role is AI biology analyst. Professionals who combine machine learning expertise with biological domain knowledge to uncover patterns in genomic data, predict protein structures, optimize drug candidates, and design synthetic organisms. This meta skill requires comfort with both Python and machine learning and biological fundamentals, enabling rapid iteration on complex biotech problems. As AI increasingly augments biological research, protein folding prediction via AlphaFold, generative models for drug design, this hybrid skill set is becoming non-negotiable for biotech innovation. These are the translators, the bridge builders. They speak the language of biology and the language of algorithms. They see patterns in genetic data that humans alone could never find. They use AI to accelerate discovery, to explore possibilities, to solve problems at the intersection of life and computation. Breathe slowly now. And let's explore personalized medicine. Personalized medicine powered by genomic data analysis represents the frontier of healthcare. AI and ML, models predicting disease susceptibility and drug response with unprecedented accuracy. Critical competencies include mastering variant calling algorithms, understanding pharmacogenomics for drug dosage optimization, implementing polygenic risk score calculations, and integrating multi-omics data, genomic, transcriptomic, proteomic, metabolomic, for comprehensive patient profiling. The emerging frontier includes AI-driven clinical decision support that generates personalized treatment recommendations from genomic data integrated with electronic medical records. Healthcare professionals with genomic literacy, understanding how genetic variations influence disease and treatment response, will increasingly differentiate themselves as precision medicine scales from research to mainstream clinical practice. This is medicine transformed, not one treatment for everyone, but the right treatment for each person, based on their unique genetic makeup, their individual biology, precision, personalization, powered by data. Now, breathing peacefully, we go beyond genes alone. Post-genomic medicine extends beyond DNA sequence analysis to include transcriptomics, proteomics, and metabolomics, the next frontier in precision healthcare. Critical competencies include integrating multi-omic data with electronic medical records, applying large language models to extract computable phenotypes from clinical notes, developing algorithms that identify disease patterns across molecular layers, and implementing privacy-preserving approaches for sensitive genetic data. This specialization bridges bioinformatics, clinical informatics, and data science, requiring expertise across multiple domains. As healthcare systems transition from research to clinical implementation of post-genomic medicine, professionals with integrated expertise will enable more precise diagnoses and treatments. DNA is just the beginning. We need to understand RNA, proteins, metabolites, how they all interact, how they change over time. Post-genomic medicine sees the whole picture, the complete molecular portrait of health and disease. Let your mind rest gently as we turn to clinical trials. Clinical trial methodology has become significantly more sophisticated. Adaptive platform trials enable parallel evaluation of multiple drug candidates against shared controls, dramatically reducing development timelines and costs. Critical competencies include understanding epidemiological considerations in trial design, mastering statistical methods for interim analyses and adaptive decision-making, managing data and safety monitoring boards, and navigating FDA regulatory requirements. As clinical trial complexity accelerates beyond traditional randomized controlled trial design, professionals combining statistical expertise with clinical knowledge and regulatory understanding command premium compensation. The emerging frontier includes real-world evidence integration and AI-driven patient recruitment optimization. These professionals design the studies that prove treatments work, that demonstrate safety, that generate the evidence needed for approval. They're making drug development faster, more efficient, more likely to succeed. Now, as you relax completely, let's explore real-world data. The integration of real-world data from electronic medical records, claims data, and patient-generated health data represents a revolutionary shift in drug development, enabling continuous evidence generation beyond traditional clinical trials. Critical competencies include understanding data governance and privacy frameworks like HIPAA and GDPR, implementing data science and AI and ML, algorithms for pattern discovery in observational data, and translating real-world insights into clinical decision-making. Organizations integrating real-world data with traditional trial data achieve superior understanding of drug efficacy in diverse populations and support emerging requirements for diversity in late-stage trials. This specialization bridges clinical research and data science, commanding significant compensation, not just controlled trials, but evidence from actual patients, real doctors, real hospitals, real life. This makes medicine more representative, more inclusive, more applicable to everyone. Breathe deeply now, and we explore novel therapies as gene therapies, cell therapies, and other novel modalities enter clinical trials. Specialized expertise in managing these complex, rapidly evolving treatments is in acute demand. Critical competencies include understanding molecular mechanisms and manufacturing processes for advanced therapies, designing trials that capture long-term durability and safety profiles unique to gene therapies, and navigating regulatory pathways for first-in-human novel modalities. Clinical researchers with deep understanding of both the science and practical challenges of advanced therapy trials are among the most sought-after professionals in pharmaceutical development. These aren't pills, these aren't traditional treatments, these are therapies that modify genes, that engineer cells, that work in entirely new ways. They require entirely new approaches to testing, to approval, to monitoring. These professionals pioneer the path for breakthrough treatments. Let yourself sink into deeper relaxation as we turn to food. Canada's agri-food technology sector projects demand for 49,000 additional workers by the end of 2025, with a projected labor gap nearly doubling by 2029. Critical technical roles include firmware and hardware developers, software developers, machine learning engineers, data scientists, and robotics specialists focused on agricultural automation. Hard-to-find specializations include blockchain engineers for supply chain transparency, ML experts for predictive crop analytics, and data infrastructure engineers managing sensor networks across farmland. Emerging career paths include service automation technician, food equipment service technician, and greenhouse technician roles, combining agricultural knowledge with IoT and automation expertise. Agriculture is being transformed. Sensors in fields, drones monitoring crops, AI predicting yields, robots harvesting. This is precision agriculture, growing more food with less water, less pesticide, less waste, feeding a growing world sustainably. And finally, as this segment and our entire journey draws to a close, we come to personal optimization. Biohacking, combining biology with technological advancement, increasingly recognized as a leadership competency for maximizing cognitive function, productivity, and resilience. Advanced biohacking includes DNA-guided nutrition, personalized nootropic stacking, continuous biometric monitoring like HRV and EEG, and AI-driven optimization algorithms that align work schedules with natural energy cycles. The biohacking market is projected to reach $500 billion by 2030, with emerging applications in genetic testing, neurofeedback, and personalized medicine. This is about optimizing yourself, understanding your unique biology, using technology to perform better, think clearer, feel stronger. It's personal science, self-experimentation, using data to become your best self. And so, as these final 10 skills settle into your awareness, and as our entire journey comes to completion, Remember what we've explored together. 100 skills, 10 segments, each one a pathway, each one an opportunity. Biomanufacturing, genomics, cloud engineering, AI biology analysis, personalized medicine, post-genomic medicine, clinical trial design, real-world data integration, gene therapy trials, agri-food technology, biohacking, each skill healing or nourishing, each professional contributing to human flourishing. We began with skills changing by 39%. We explored AI and data and lifelong learning. We journeyed through technology and networks, through security and protection, through innovation and creativity, through understanding people and planet, through restoration and healing, through frontiers of mind and matter. And now, we end with medicine and food, with health and nourishment, with the foundations of life itself. Rest now in the knowledge that the future is being built by people learning these skills, by professionals mastering these capabilities, by humans applying intelligence, creativity, compassion to the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. You don't need to learn all 100 skills. You just need to find yours, the ones that call to you, the ones that match your gifts, the ones where you can contribute your unique value to this unfolding future. The world is changing. Skills are evolving. Technology is advancing. But through it all, human potential remains boundless. Human creativity remains infinite. Human capacity for learning, for growth, for contribution remains unlimited. Breathe deeply, let go completely, and drift peacefully into deep, restful sleep, knowing that tomorrow holds possibilities beyond imagining, and that you have a place in building that tomorrow. Whatever skills you choose to develop, whatever path you choose to walk, you are part of this grand transformation, this evolution, this journey into a future we're creating together. Sleep now, peacefully, deeply, knowing that you are capable, you are valuable, and you are ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Good night.